How's it going, ladies and Bruce's up, Sixkilla, and welcome back to the VII Enigma. We're playing as, is it Amelia and Levi, and we're out in the western sector scavenging for resources before we make a big trip up to Pandora's box. But unfortunately, Beckett and his cronies are on our tail, and we have to decide whether we're going to trust this man who is offering to help us, possibly, probably, or whether he's just going to turn us in for the money. We're going to follow the man. I tend to be quite naive and tend to trust people far too easily. So this could definitely blow up in our faces, but worst comes to worst, we just reload, do the other option. Let's go. If he's trying to catch us, there's probably a better way to go about it. No, I guess we can't be sure. I think we don't have much of a choice but to go with him. He's a bit sus, but I guess you got a point. Alright, if you think it's the best option, then let's go. Okay. The two follow the man down dingy wooden stairs and through a door to a larger room, situated below ground level. That's a pub. Looks nice. Inside is a dark space scattered with tables, as several groups of people are seated, drinking ale around them. Okay, welcome to our little establishment. A place where like-minded people gather, you might say. Of course, we aren't an official organisation or anything, but in a dump like this, you sure need to band together and support one another. After scanning the room, they take a seat at a vacant table. Oh shit, sorry. Hang on a second. I didn't plug all my stuff in. Drink. We're fine. Suit yourself. They observe what seems to be a visible weight on the shoulders of the scattered few gathered there. It was gloomy and sullen atmosphere. Anyway, the name's Logan. Now tell me, how's it you have Bosk on your tail and they haven't found you using your ID scanning? Never heard of giving Bosk the slip? Well, we can't really tell you that now, can we? Didn't think you would, but I'd be lying if to say I wasn't curious. Why do you care about us anyway? Why haven't you turned us in? What's the old saying? An enemy of my enemy is my friend? Something like that anyway. Bosk is your enemy? Well, only in sentiment, to be completely honest. Life can be pretty crap here in the western sector. They just shove a lot of the city's problems out here and fence it off when they don't have to deal with it. They make it almost impossible to leave, and even if we wanted to, most of us have family, and those we care about, we can't leave behind. Is that why you're against Bosk? Part of it. No, we aren't really doing much against Bosk. I mean, we hate him for sure, but we aren't stupid enough to try another uprising. Our time of trying that kind of thing is over now. Logan pauses, his eyes grow distant, and he is drawn into reminiscence. Suddenly breaking out of it, he continues, well, those who gather in this establishment, simply band together and support each other as much as we can. We try to make this sector a better place for our families. Bosk doesn't care for it, so we gotta do what we can for ourselves. I think I've heard of this place. I'm from the northern part of this sector, but we heard stories. Were you connected to the uprisings that happened in the late 40s? Well, that was a different time then. I guess we just didn't realize how formidable they really were. So many good people died and we never had a hope to stop Bosk in the first place. Logan's gaze grows unfocused again as he furrows his brow in remembrance. Yeah, but at the same time, if you don't fight, you lose all chance of things changing. I don't think you did the wrong thing then, even if it didn't work out. Yes, but trying without a realistic chance just brings needless suffering. We learned that the hard way. It's better to live under tough conditions than to lose those you care about completely. Well, you call us young and dumb, but we're here to get rid of Bosk. Maybe we'll end up like you and regret it, but I prefer to try and regret than have missed the chance completely. Well, everyone has to learn things their own way, I guess. Don't get me wrong, I wish more than anything that you'd go out from here and kick Bosk's ass. I just know that isn't possible. Yet, as you said, we've already done the impossible by evading Bosk and having a way around their ID scanners. History isn't always doomed to repeat itself. Your experience doesn't have to be ours. Logan has his head downcast. Deep in thought, he slowly looks back up and tilts his head back. You're right. It doesn't have to be. It just almost certainly will be, though. I've seen it play out too many times the same way to keep any hope. Yet, as you've said, you've already pulled off several impossibilities, so who knows? I've said my piece. From here on, all I can do is wish you the best and hope for your sake that I'm wrong. Don't worry, you're definitely wrong about this one. Huh. That's the confidence you'll need to pull it off anyway. So that's a start. Don't suppose you tell me who you are or what your plan is. No, sorry. Too high a risk. If they found out we talked to you, we can't risk them getting the info out of you. Chirp. What you need to know is we're coming against Bosk, and we will win. So after hearing that, do you feel like turning us over to them? What do you think? I may not be keen to march to my death, but I'm definitely not going to be any part in helping them. Though the truth is, I'm taking a risk just by letting you be in here at all. What should we do then? You going to help us? If you want my help to lay low here until they leave, I want you to promise me a few things. After all, you won't tell me what your plans are, so I need to be sure helping you won't come back to bite us. Guess it depends what you're going to ask us to promise you. First, I want you to assure me that your plan doesn't involve needless death. I've seen enough stupidity in my lifetime, and don't want to be responsible for any more deaths. No senseless bombings, violence, that kind of thing. Nothing that will affect the innocent people of the city. We promise. Muscles here is only for protection and self-defense. That's not all I'm for. Good. The only other thing I want you to promise me is that you won't screw things up even worse by whatever you're doing. What do you mean? Well, if you're not planning to use force, there's only one other option I can think of that could take out Bosk. The temper system. That thing is potentially the most dangerous device of all. It's what led us here in the first place. I mean, that's your plan, right? Well, the temper system? You're going pretty far trying to connect the dots there. I get you're not going to tell me, but listen to me, I've been around for a while. There's no guarantee you're not going to make things significantly worse, maybe even as bad as the timeline of the pandemic if you manage to screw around with the temper system. Just who exactly are you? It doesn't matter anymore. Just promise me you're not going to do anything stupid. It's a hard thing to promise, you know. I don't even know the full plan myself. There's an old saying, better the devil you know than the devil you don't. I know Bosk is oppressive and controlling. I hate it, and I hate what they've done, but at least we're safe. We're alive. You call this living? Listen, I have a wife, a daughter and 2 sons. I already lost my wife in my first marriage because of my stupidity. I'm not making the same mistake again. Life may be hard, but at least I have my family. We're all together. I don't want to lose the last thing I've been left with. We could be in a world where almost none of us were left alive. A true living hell. There are infinite possibilities of worlds worse than this one. Promise me you won't screw it up. Logan speaks with passion, as the intensity of his voice drives it to waver and distort as he implores to the 2 in front of him. Amelia takes a moment, and after a deep breath replies, "There are also infinite possibilities of worlds better than this one too. You know that." You're right, using the temper system is playing with fire. There is always the danger of things going bad, but we won't let that fear stop us moving forward. Why do young people always assume the changes they make to the world won't end up making things worse? We promise we'll do all our can so that our actions can only result in a world better than this one. Yeah, you can trust us. A small smirk creeps onto Logan's face at their words. I used to be just like you guys. Maybe I've just grown too old and cynical. We'll have our time, I guess. Okay then, I'll let you hide out here for a while. They already checked this place before you got here, so I don't think they'll come back for a while. Thank you, means a lot. Yeah, thanks. What are your plans? Will they come back around at some point once they can't find you? They will come back around at some point once they can't find you. It's best not to hang around too long. Yeah, we need to make our way out of the city on foot. Soon they'll probably start searching outside the walls of the city, given how close we are to the border here. It'll probably be the first place they'll be expecting us. But it's also where we need to go. True, and with all this rain around covering your footprints, it'd be impossible. It's basically a mud pit out there. They'll track you down in no time. What if you make a break for it? It may be a while before they find the tracks. You still need to get those supplies back. Our packs are pretty heavy now too. It'd be very unlikely we'll make it back before they find us. And even if we do, then we will be leading them straight to everyone else. Our best option will be to wait until later tonight. I was just about to mention that. With the cloudy cover, it'll be dark tonight. And very hard to see footprints, particularly if you travel through the woods. You'll have a much better chance that way. They may not find your tracks until morning. Right, sounds like a plan. But how are we going to get the rest of the items off the list? Yeah, we got most of them, but we still have a few more things to get. Let me have a look at the list. Amelia passes over her tablet, which Logan inspects. He swipes his finger a few times before handing the tablet back over. Okay, I've sent the list over to my device. I'll go out and get the rest of the items for you. Stay in this room, don't go anywhere. If you want food or drink, ask the little guy up at the counter. Tell him Logan says it's on him. Thanks, we owe you a ton. Yes, you do. You can make it up to me by keeping your promises. Make it a better future. Right. Honestly, we can't thank you enough, Logan. Logan simply stares at the two as his face ever so slightly softens. Okay, I'll head off now. I'll see you later on. Without looking back, Logan makes his exit back up the stairs. This is why we do it. Huh? Men like Logan, his family, the entire sector, This is why we're fighting. This is why we're doing this. To bring back hope to people like him. Levi lowers his head in thought before replying, yeah, you're right. Now we just need to find a way to keep good on our word. Several hours later, a nervous silence descends on Iker, Zyla, Elijah, and Jasper. They stand around anxiously and wait, having recently finished their dinner. I'm starting to get really worried. Yes, they should have returned by now. It's 7 PM, even if they travelled slowly, they should have made it back. They must have run into trouble. It isn't looking good. I just hope they got held up rather than anything more serious. What will we do if they don't return tonight? Will we go after them? We won't be able to. If they're caught, going to find them will just mean we get caught. We don't have the items either. But Iker, we can't just leave them behind. You know, I don't want to leave them behind. I'm just saying that we cannot go in the city after them. All we can do now is wait to see what will happen. Surely we have a way of contacting them. Have we tried to do that? No way to contact them. Boss would certainly be monitoring long-distance communication. Remember that we need those parts that we're going to be buying though. We might want to at least consider the option of going in to get them somehow. Yeah, surely if we think hard enough we can come up with a plan to get both of them and the items we need. Feel free to try and think of something, but from where I'm standing, I can't see an option that isn't simply too risky. If they've been captured, we would just be walking straight into a trap. If they haven't, they should make their way back here. To me, this really seems that simple. For now, we should wait. You didn't consider the option that they haven't been captured, but are in a situation where they might need our help. Are we really not even going to consider going in? Yeah, like, what if one of them got injured on the journey back? Iker, please. I really think if they don't arrive soon, we should go look. If one got injured, the other would come back here and ask for help. Listen, I'm not saying I don't want to go and help them. I do. I'm just saying that right now, any action that would make us... any action we would take would be very unlikely to help, and would very likely to endanger more of us. What is up with Iker? Why is he being so stubborn? You sure you aren't just scared of being caught? Yes, I'm scared of being caught. Everything rides on us being successful in this mission. I'm terrified that we will become the ones who blunder the final hope of freedom for the world. This is bigger than any single one of us. We cannot let our priorities get mixed up no matter how good our intentions are. Iker, what's going on? What you're saying really doesn't sit right with me. You really believe this is the right thing to do? Just leave them stranded? Sometimes doing what is right means doing something that feels wrong. Sacrifices are always messy. It's worse now that it feels like we're sacrificing someone else. All I can do is try to be honest and weigh up our chances of success. For now, and I'll say it again, all we can do is wait. I'm with Zyla, I don't like this. I can see both sides, but for me it really comes down to acquiring those parts. Iker, can we really not afford to look for them if we do in fact need those parts for success? There may be other ways to acquire parts, but no way to replace the rest of us, and in particular Elijah, who is central to the mission. We head north tomorrow. We'll wait until morning for them. Let's just hope they arrive in time. That is my final decision. Okay? Pensive looks cover each face as a heaviness fills the room. This really doesn't sit right with me, Iker. Elijah walks out of the room on heavy feet. I thought I'd find you out here now that the rain has stopped. A familiar voice sounds out behind Elijah, who turns around to see Zyla approaching with a unique stride, a mix of confident, strong, and feminine. She takes a seat next to Elijah, bottle and glass in hand. Drink? Sure. Now I feel I definitely need one. Yeah, though, this will be the last of my stash, so it might be our last drink for a while. That's okay, I get the feeling I'm not a big drinker anyway. Yeah, I think seeing the way you drink, it's definitely not your thing. Still, it feels nice to have a drink at a time like this. It does. Too bad there's no moon tonight with this weather. The two look out at the dark, bands streaked across the sky, obscuring the light before them. Elijah can't help but replay everything again and again in his mind. I can't believe what Iker said earlier. I'm so nervous about this whole thing that I feel sick. I guess all we can do is hope that they manage to make it back before morning. Zyla closes her eyes for a few moments in response to Elijah's comments. What are you doing? She takes a few moments in silence before opening her eyes and answering. Times like these, I like to offer up a quick prayer. Feels better than doing nothing. It lets me put that energy into the world somewhere where there's no action I can take. Prayer? You really believe in it? Dunno. I just feel like something inside me is drawn to it. Drawn to do it, you know? I guess that makes sense. It's a pretty natural response to everything being so out of control. And does it help? Well, it definitely makes me feel a lot better, if nothing else. But don't you know, Bosk is the god of this world. Obviously. It's also how I found Iker. What do you mean? In that moment of helplessness in the orphanage, when I had nobody to turn to, I cried out for help. The next day I met Iker for the first time when he stepped in and protected me. It became an answer to my prayer. To me it seemed like a miracle. I was so used to everything going against me that I couldn't believe it. So now that's my ritual when I feel out of control, or hopeless. I know that things often don't work out, but you never know when things might turn around if you don't lose heart. So I pray. I know most people will say it's stupid, that it's a placebo or coincidence or superstition. I try not to overthink it, it just works for me. I'm happy to sit with the mystery of it anyway. It just works for her? I guess I shouldn't critique it. For her it's something foundational, something with deep meaning, almost sitting beyond reason. Does it make sense to mess with or argue with that if it's helping you? I see, well, I know what the old me thought about that stuff. I just feel like if it works for you, then good for you, I guess. I don't think that's my thing though, to be honest. Well, we are playing at making the greatest miracle of all time with this mission. So a bit of divine intervention couldn't hurt, right? Well, if you can arrange it, I'll take all the help we can get. Okay, leave it with me, I'll see what I can do. Hit up the big G. What up, G? Zola gives Elijah a cheeky smile before taking another swig of her drink. I was a little surprised at Iker today, to be honest. Particularly after what you told me about him last night. What he said tonight seems surprisingly cold. He's saying what he has to as a leader. Behind it all, I know it hurts him so much more than he lets on. He's acting strong for our sake. He knows sometimes someone needs to say what nobody wants to hear. Why doesn't he just be honest with us then? Then we can discuss it openly. We might come up with a better plan that way rather than him being all stubborn, acting like he already knows everything. He isn't being stubborn. Elijah, you have no idea what Iker is carrying. I think that's unfair. Zola responds calmly yet forcefully, her eyes unwavering as she stares into Elijah's. Elijah is the first to break, looking at the ground in front of his feet. That was stupid of me. Zola and Iker are like brother and sister. Of course she's going to defend him if I insult him. Damn, that was stupid. Sorry, you're right. I don't really understand enough about him or what's going on to make that call. It just feels that way from where I'm looking. Iker has been through a lot. Although he has a strong sense of justice and gives everything he has to it, don't mistake that for a childish sense of playing hero. We both have our ignorant hopes dashed too many times growing up. And even then, he still somehow hasn't let go of his dream. He would only have made that call based on the fact that he was completely sure that it was the only way forward. And I'm sure right now it's killing him that he had to make that decision. Right. Now I think about it, why would I ever think that I'd be able to understand the situation better than Iker? I can't even remember who I am. Iker is much better equipped to weigh up the situation and make the right calls than I am. Sorry if I sounded too harsh on him. I know you guys are close. I just felt like you could have listened a bit more, but then again, what do I know? I'm pretty clueless right now. I should probably just keep my mouth closed. Elijah gives a self-deriding grimace. I know it isn't easy for you either, Elijah, so don't beat yourself up too much. I just need you to trust Iker as the leader. He's very experienced, intelligent, and he's willing to fully give himself to the cause. So when he makes a tough call like that, you can offer your opinion, but you really should also trust and respect it. You may not have the kind of genius like you have as a scientist, but in terms of seeing the big picture and fighting to see it through, Iker is the person you want to trust for the job. Yeah, I can see that. I guess there would have been a reason for the founder chose him after all. I'll try to be a bit more aware of my place, I guess. The only way we're going to get through this is together. Iker won't just give up on them, but he also won't walk us to our deaths in the ignorant hopes that we can swoop in like victorious heroes and save the day. You heard me back then. I would have looked for them too, and told Iker as much, but I knew after pushing him that if Iker still held on to that decision, he must be very certain. For now, let's just wait and pray that they make it back. You're right. I guess that's all we can do for now. The two recline in comfortable silence. A light misty drizzle starts to fall as they look out over the trees. I don't think we'll be coming back to this cabin. It's been nice. I think I'll miss these late night drinks and chats of ours. Yeah, thanks for spending the time with me. Definitely helped me feel more, well, normal, I guess. You make it sound like I'm your therapist. That's what a bartender is, right? You're my bartender. Drinky, drinky. I just need a drinking buddy, and new Iker and the rest aren't the most fun to kick back with for this kind of thing. Well, I guess we helped each other out then. Yeah, we did. From here, it feels like things are going to get even more intense, so it's been good to have these few days to settle, even if it was short-lived. I think you're right. Past the point of no return, maybe? Well, we probably passed that some time ago, but still, I know what you're saying. I'm pretty scared of what I'm going to find out about myself, to be honest. Something inside me is telling me to just start fresh and try not to find out. You think that's true? Your past really should be avoided? Or is it just a fear because of the strangeness of losing your memories and everything? I guess I can't be sure. I hope it's the latter, but I'm preparing for the worst. I think you're overthinking it all. Just take it one step at a time. For now, we just have to hope that Levi and Amelia make it back and worry about getting up to Pandora's box. You're right. Can I ask you one thing, though? Yeah, of course. I can't believe I'm going to ask you like this. But there is something I fear much more now than how I'm going to look right now. This is going to sound pathetic. Don't worry about how it's going to sound. We need to be there for each other. Our mission is way too important. Okay? Can you make sure I'm not alone if I start to lose myself? What do you mean? Well, when I was first waking up, coming out of that fog that felt like it lasted forever, it was absolutely terrifying. Elijah begins to spill out his long bottled up feelings. His intensity increases the more he continues to release them. It was like I couldn't tell what was real or fake, memory or delusion. Images were in my head and no sooner would they disappear. It was complete and utter terror. I didn't even know how long I was in that state. It might have been days, hours, minutes, but it felt like forever. It was like a dream while you're awake, but I couldn't make it out. It was like my mind was a tapestry and I was only seeing it from the wrong side. Nothing made sense and I couldn't make the connections. Fractured images filled my mind that wouldn't ever crystallize into anything meaningful. It's horrible. When I eventually started becoming aware of my surroundings, I was being questioned by that agent in the Bosk facility. Then I was suddenly being pulled out by you guys. It's all a bit of a blur now. Just thinking about it brings back some of those feelings. Sorry, I guess I kind of unloaded all that on you pretty suddenly. It's okay, Elijah. You don't need to feel bad about it. You need to get that stuff off your chest. I guess so. I've been coping by just trying to stay focused on the present. I feel so weak to say it, but I'm terrified if I try to remember that I'm going to get lost again and lose myself to that hell. Elijah has both fists clenched in an attempt to hide the trembling in his hands from Zyla. I can't even begin to pretend I understand what that felt like. Though I do know the feeling of loneliness, the fear of being trapped. I promise I'll help you if anything happens. You won't be alone. You promise? Yeah, I promise. Thank you. I really am sorry that I'm acting so weak and pathetic right now. You're not pathetic, Elijah. Zella speaks with conviction, showing her words to deeply resonate with her. Not just the offering of a weak platitude. Your mind has been through a lot of trauma I couldn't begin to understand. That isn't your fault. Well, he probably did it to himself, so, you know. We're gonna get through this together. That is what it means to be a part of a team. Thank you, Zyla. My pleasure. If you just sit there as the time slowly rolls on, the light misty rain still falls as Zyla breaks the silence. Okay, it's about time I got some sleep. Let's hope we awake to our prayers being answered and all 6 of us will be driving up to Pandora's box together. Yeah, that sounds good. Good night, Zyla. Night, Elijah. End of chapter? Not quite. Dad! Dad! Yes, sweetie? Can we play some more Kid Con? Just a second, I'll set it up for you, my love. Where's Mummy? I wanted to watch it with me. I already told you. She isn't here anymore. When's she gonna come back? I've already told you, sweetheart. She isn't coming back. Why not? Well... Dad, why are you crying? Oh, am I? Sorry. What does this seem? Is this me? I didn't have a daughter, did I? Did I make you sad, Daddy? It wasn't you, I'm just sad that Mummy isn't coming back, that's all. It's okay, sweetie, I'm fine now. If it isn't me, then why does it look like me? What's going on? You won't go away too, will you, Daddy? No, I won't ever leave you. Not until the world ends. Good. I miss Mummy. Where'd she go? I've told you, sweetheart, she's gone to be with the angels in heaven. I don't know why she can't come back, though. When you make that trip, you can't make your way back here. She didn't want to leave us, but she had no choice. Why'd she have no choice, Dad? Everyone has to make their trip one day, but we don't get to choose when, darling. At least, not normally. What do you mean, Dad? Don't worry, it doesn't matter right now. Come on, I'll play Kid Con with you instead. Elijah. Okay, let's make popcorn. What is that noise? Elijah! Someone calling me? I don't see anyone else here. Elijah, wake up! Elijah springs up in his sleeping bag to be greeted by the blackness of his room, having been suddenly roused from his peculiar dream. Still disoriented, he looks over to see the faint outline of Zyla shaking his arm and calling his name. He looks over to see the time. 5:47 AM. What is it? Is everything okay? They came back. They're here right now. What? What are you talking about? He's still asleep? Who do you think I'm talking about? Amelia and Levi just got back. Come on, hurry up. What? Really? I'll be right out. You're back. Amelia and Levi are slumped down on the sofa, arms limp by their sides and heads tilted back. Yeah, we made it. Levi's voice was noticeably more subdued than it normally was. You both must be exhausted. I'll get you a drink. We're relieved to have you back. I'm guessing you must have run into trouble. Guess you could say that. What happened? Where were you all this time? They found us out. We had to lay low for a while. Is there any chance they might have followed you here? It's unlikely. That's one of the reasons we waited until after midnight to leave. It'd be obvious if anyone was following us through the forest. It's only a matter of time before they find our trail and it leads them here. Right. Well, we have to leave right away then. We were mostly prepared to leave anyway, so we'll just move it forward. Did you manage to get all the supplies we needed? Yeah, we were pretty fortunate to have some help for that. We ended up with everything on the list. Excellent, great job. I want to hear all about it, but for now, we should prioritize getting on the road. It's a long trip, so we can hear about it on the way. Yeah, okay. No sleep for us then, I guess. Better tired than captured, Levi. Team, be fully packed and ready to roll out within 15 minutes. We will carry our supplies out to the hidden vehicle and make our way from there. How far away did you say you hid it again, Amelia? About 1 kilometer, not far at all. Are you sure this vehicle can't be tracked? Yeah, I got it from a very trustworthy source. She's well known in the western sector, don't worry. It'll keep us hidden from the vehicle scanners. Okay. Good, okay team. We only need to do a fair amount of lifting to get the supplies to the car in one trip. We'll meet at the front door in 15. As the group starts to disperse, Elijah approaches Ika. Hey Ika, I know we gotta get going, I just have a real quick question. If it's very quick. Did I ever have a daughter? A daughter? That's a strange question. No, you didn't. Are you sure? No daughter? Or even a little girl I adopted or anything like that? No, you didn't, I'm sure of it. Remember, you're a famous figure. Your life is pretty well known. Why do you ask? Don't worry. Must have been a strange dream. Never mind. Huh, a dream? Well, let's pick up this conversation later. We'll have more time to talk once we arrive. For now, go get yourself packed. Sure, will do. Thanks for answering anyway. As Ika turns around and starts gathering his things, he mutters under his breath. Was it really just a dream? Fucking hope so. I don't know. I mean, you're the one who said he didn't have a daughter. Back at the facility, Beckett is pacing with a limp back and forth in his office. Before him is a prisoner, handcuffed to the chair with visible bruising to the face. Oh no. How could you not know where they've gone? I've already told you. Everything I know. Logan is leaning back in his chair with his head tilted back, his breathing laboured. We have several witnesses who testified that you took in and sheltered some of the criminals we're looking for. You really expect me to believe you know nothing about them? Beckett unloads a punch into the man's stomach. The man gasps for air before eventually responding quietly between deep breaths. No matter how many times you ask, it won't change the fact I really don't know where they are or where they were going. So he does appear to be telling the truth. We've been circling for a while. His answers haven't changed. I'm not sure we're going to make any progress doing this. To think this guy really doesn't know who they are, what their plan is, or where they were headed, yet took the risk to hide them. It's way too much for me to believe. I didn't say I didn't know anything about their plan. What? Speak up, what do you know? The only thing I know is that they plan to take Bosk down. There was plenty of reason to help them against you bastards. Huh, you really think there's any chance of standing against Bosk? You cannot change this world. It has gone too far. Its rulers are set. It is impossible to defy them now. That door is now closed. I know that too well. Survive. Keep your head down. Work your way up. Make the most of what you can. I want you to survive. Be smart. Don't defy them like your idiot father. Survive. Let me tell you something. There is no defying Bosk. Anyone stupid enough to defy them deserves to be killed without mercy. You think you were helping them take down Bosk? Idiot! You just sealed your own fate to be the same as theirs. They may be able to run for a few days at most, pretending to be heroes, but they will not survive. There is only one way to survive. To be quiet, or to be useful. You're just a worthless nuisance. You say that with a fair amount of venom. Looks like we really got to you. You really are pathetic. You cannot understand people who throw their lives away and see it as a virtue. You will deserve what you get. Is there anything else you can tell me? That about covers it. Again, the scans show he's being truthful, sir. What should we do with him now? Beckett eyes the man before him, taking a moment to think. Have him terminated immediately. What crime should I put in the log? Incitement of hate and endangering public safety. Right away, sir, and what of his family? Leave them alone, please. They have nothing to do with this. Does that show up as the truth? Yes, it does, sir. I'm tempted to have them all terminated just for your contemptible attitude. Though I do know that one's family members' reckless actions don't mean the rest follow in their stupidity. Have his family and close contacts be required to do a re-education course and then re-released. And have this one taken away immediately for termination. Right away, sir. Agent Beckett. What, you trying my patience, sir? There's one thing you're wrong about. Oh, really? What would that be? All things come to an end. Mine is at hand, but even Bosk will someday have their number called. It's just people like you whose actions allow them to endure longer than they should. One day I hope you realize this. You know nothing of what I've seen. Bosk has conquered time itself. They are the one group your logic doesn't apply to. They cannot be defeated. I've heard enough of this stupidity. Take him away. Logan is dragged away by two guards, leaving Beckett bickering to himself alone in the room. I'm so sick of hearing from blabbering fools who mistake their sentimentality for wisdom. You mean like your father? Yeah, I see. Anyway, something very strange is happening. That group should have not been able to evade capture for so long. Time to do some digging and find out what's really going on here. And that is the chapter complete, because we just got an achievement. Chapter 3, Pandora's Box. Well, that is perfect timing, because we are out of time for this episode. January 27th, 2060. I presume we're on the road trip now, are we? Or are we already there at Pandora's Box? Right, we're going to wrap this one up here, and in the next episode we will continue with Chapter 3 in Pandora's Box. Very interesting. I thought Beckett might go a bit easier on him, but he did spare his family, so that's something I guess. He still seems like kind of an arsehole, though. Okay, he's a massive arsehole. But I see the whole, you know, the trauma that his father put on him by sacrificing himself to try and defeat Bosk has made him the bitter fucking wanker that he is now, you know? I don't think that's what his father meant by survive and don't be like your idiot father. But, you know, whatever. To each his own, I suppose. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.